Up legends. All right, we'll start on EU since we're on it right now. Yesterday we obviously pushed, like I was talking about in the outlook, wanted to buy. Just wasn't an entry for me that ended up playing out for the buy, unfortunately. But analysis has been spot on, so it makes sense what the markets is doing. Just see if hopefully we can make the most of it at some point this week. So what we've got, obviously, like I was explaining yesterday, looking at this as a new external leg, just because of the significance of the break after sweeping this bit of retest here. Now, like I was saying, I don't expect this area to hold, but just viewing that as an external leg just allows us to work with price on a little bit more of a refined area, because of that retest and, build a bit more of a better story. Otherwise, we're going to be working inside that huge leg there for our 15 minute. So what I'm looking at now, I am expecting price to more or less come and sweep that high and take it out. It is looking likely to be setting that up. We have had a good break here, which has been retested a little bit, swept, and now pushed back up quite aggressively. Now, this is a lot of liquidity we've swept across of here. So the market very well can come a little bit deeper, especially down to these areas, which is our decisional of that internal break. This area is just a little bit of a supply to demand, but it didn't sweep any liquidity. So I'm also looking at this area as our decisional point that it should hold, or potentially hold. So we're in a bit of a spot at the minute where I don't really want to buy right where it is just because we're very, very high up inside of this range. I would like to see it come down a little bit further, but I'm not prepared to sell it just because this internal range here, I don't trust it because it hasn't been retested. It just swept the retest of that internal break and pushed straight back up. So very unlikely to hold. And I don't want to sell as we start to get too much higher up inside of here just because all of this is so filled and we're obviously going to be quite against momentum. We've picked up some strong bullish momentum, so I don't want to fight against that. Ideally, I'd like to buy. So if we can come down, get a second break of structure, so then I can work with something down here. At least then I've got a little bit more room for this high and I can target that as my final TP. So we'll see if that wants to shape up. But at the moment, it is looking like it's probably just going to push through. So I'm just going to have to wait for structure to develop a little more. Now, AU, same sort of thing I'd like to buy. But yeah, looking unlikely. I did take a little loss yesterday inside of here, trying to catch that run back up. I was just a little bit early on my entry, unfortunately. Got no issues with the trade, still see it as a valid entry, but we ended up pushing from a little bit further down. I wanted to use this as break and retest to induce to push higher first rather than what I went with internally here. So that's fine. Analysis played out, just yeah, got in a little bit early, but that's okay. Right now, we are in the decisional area of our internal break, but obviously we can see very, very bullish into it. So this area is unlikely to hold, but it's quite likely to present as a smart money trap and trap in some sellers. Looking like it may just get absolutely blown through though at this point. Now, we do have this smart money trap here, which should be a smart money trap because it shouldn't outweigh the strength of this. If we were to come into here, I'd actually be somewhat open to selling through it, just understanding that if this point is going to be a smart money trap, it should come down to at least take out Asia low or ideally the retest of that internal break just there and then push up like that. But at this point, it's looking like it's just going to get smoked. And I'm not even going to bother trying to sell it through this area. I need to see it do something first to give me some sort of confidence in selling. And we need to come down deeper if we're going to buy anyway, because we've got no structure as is. So all good. GU, same thing. GU had an entry inside of here that a few of the guys took yesterday, which is quite clean. Didn't fit my rules. I didn't have 5 minute liquidity, so I couldn't take it. But it was actually quite a clean entry, which clearly played out quite well. Fit the analysis, just didn't fit the rules for the entry, so that's fine for me. Now, what we've had an inducement of the retest of the 4 hour. Like I've been saying since we formed, really, this retest down here. I've been saying that this area isn't going to hold and it's going to be a smart money trap, which has obviously played out to be so we're spot on there, which is always nice. We have now induced the retest of our 15-minute external break, and we're coming towards this decisional area of that break. Again, it makes a lot of sense to be able to get a sell-off given the liquidity that's been taken and the significance of this area, but I'm not just going to expect it to sell because the market can do as it pleases. So yeah, very, very bullish at the moment. I was open to using this area as a smart money trap off the back of this retest, but obviously didn't shape up and it's just continue to push. So look, I don't want to sell against this momentum, not until I've got some sort of reasonable structure to be able to work with. So I'm just going to be waiting for that to develop. Ideally, I'd like to buy, but now we're starting to come into an area where we're starting to complete the structure cycle this way. So we can 100% actually start to sell off. So we're in a bit of a decisional area because obviously we're in a about to be in a decisional. So just going to wait and develop, wait another price to develop, see where it wants to go and what it wants to do. I can't buy it right now and I can't sell it. So I do have to sit on my hands a little bit and just allow the market to present where it wants to go and a bit more structure to be able to work with because obviously we don't have a lot of structure as is. So we'll leave it there, guys. There's no news today, which is great. Just a little bit orange for us and nothing to stress about. But yeah, we'll see what this wants to do.